Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. It's supposed to be a Halloween special. I'm supposed to be Sub-Zero, but I don't have a mask. But
Yeah, and I got my Darth Vader hoodie on. That's my sorry excuse for costume whenever I go out. I get in when I zip everything up.
yeah, he don't have his Darth Vader mask either, so take it for what we have. There you go. There you go. I would.
Booyah.
Yeah.
But I don't wear it like that.
This how I'm supposed to look, but with the hoodie on. This no, but now let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. Oh man, this is last week of October. Clocks go back this weekend, but as my cousin said, I don't think we want to. After the way 2020's been, I don't know if I want to turn the clocks back.
Not at all.
for an hour, but we are here, and we will talk about the spooky offense that is the Patriots, or lack thereof. And man, what a beatdown that was!
I seen a meme with the with Kermit looking out the window with the glass and like this is what losing feels like with the Pats logo on the back. Yeah, honestly, this is what losing feels like. But the way Cam's looking, I compare it to none playing with the Heat when he came back from COVID, he just wasn't the same. It took him like almost like a month or two to get back to game form. Yeah, Cam's he's looking rough out there, and he's not helping himself out either.
Yeah, it's been downhill after that Seattle game. He just hasn't looked right. And now I'm starting to think he might have had COVID or them symptoms during that Raiders game.
Yeah, man.
I'm starting to think that the way things are going.
But they're also really not helping him too much either when you're not really running the ball.
Also, he's the leading rusher.
That's the problem. Like Harris had 10 carries. Like why is Harris only having 10 carries when you know your quarterback's struggling? You have to try to relieve some type of pressure off him or try to get a big run or something.
Also, this is a passing league anyways, and the passing offense is just not that great. Man, our receivers are sorry. Our number one our first round receiver from 2019 is sorry. It's just bad. Everything's just bad. There's no sugarcoating it. The offense just looks horrible. They can't make big plays. I think they've got one pass play of 50 yards all season. I think one. Or I have the stat here. I think the longest pass play was 49 yards this season. 27th pass offense. They're 29th. Their receivers are ranked 29th. 29.5% of targets to receivers are like the receivers are covered or it's through a tight window. They're not getting open. They rank dead last in separation, and then their conversions is just 38.8% conversion on third down. It's just awful, and we're all gonna look at Cam. He gets the blame too. We gotta start looking at the coaches and Josh McDaniel, because I've not been a fan of Josh McDaniels and what he's been doing.
Yeah, because play calling also comes into play because they can't even convert third down. So if you can't even continue your drive to get to the red zone, like how are you even going to score? Yeah. Or get to the third or fourth to kick a decent field goal?
Yeah.
Everything's just in turmoil right now with the Pats. Like that's just what it is. But it's kind of expected.
Yeah.
It just sucks when it's home.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing it like right there in front of your face. We're not used to seeing that. So it's kind of shocking to the whole New England.
And
right now.
And now we look back last year. It's a miracle they won 11, 12 games last year. Because this is almost pretty much the same offense from last year with the same players, just minus the quarterback and I think a couple other guys.
I mean, Brady is a Hall of Famer, and the offense was catered to him, so he knew the ins and outs. He knew the intricacies and how he can manipulate certain plays to. I want to say, even if McDaniels called a bad play, he knows how to audible things and who to look for in that play if things break down.
And also, if you remember from last year, he was throwing the ball away a lot last year.
That too.
Why? Because this offensive line was an issue last year. It's still an issue this year. So now we understand why he was just, Brady, he goes through it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm throwing it away. Cam's holding on to the ball too long.
But that's the difference between having your dual quarterback who you have no problem with. He's running. Somebody has to tell him, you have to start throwing the ball away more for the safety of your body and possessions.
Yeah, definitely. Also, there was a lot of turnovers in this game. There was 6 combined turnovers. 4 of them were from the Pats. The other was Jimmy Garoppolo throwing 2 interceptions. But I need to go back to this N'Keal Harry guy because this guy has been an absolute bust. And I just talked about this in another show with somebody. I'm going to give you some information on N'Keal Harry with his time with the Patriots. 2 seasons, he's had 1 game of over 50 yards receiving, and that was week 2 versus the Seahawks when he caught 72 yards. He's got 2 career games with 5+ receptions with the Pats. And do you want to know who was taken after N'Keal Harry? The first, in the second round, Deebo Samuel. This was right after N'Keal Harry. Great receiver, great all-around player for the 49ers. A.J. Brown, Tennessee Titans. He's looking good. He had a great rookie season, and he's playing well this year. He had like a 80-yard touchdown reception over the weekend. Mecole Hardman of the Kansas City Chiefs. He plays special teams, he's receiver, sometimes running back, and he's producing. And DK Metcalf.
Oh, I knew he was coming.
He was the last. That was major pause. He was the last pick in the second round. Also, do you want to know who they picked in the second round? A guy named Jaywan Williams with the 45th pick, and I don't even know if this guy is on the team.
Now, one thing the Pats were known for were making nobody somebody's. Well, considerably nobody's in I want to say the professional world somebody. So they probably expected Brady to remain their quarterback until he got traded, and then it's like, oh, we don't have that guy that kind of makes miracles out of people anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Now it's like, your coaching really has to put their high hats on and get to work.
Yeah, and they could have helped him out by drafting one of those fast guys instead of this guy. And
Harry and Newton need to get in the gym or get on the field, get in the facility, and just start working together and just try to build some chemistry while we have 75% of the season left.
Harry just need to learn how to get open. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that too.
Like, what can we do with those stats? But yeah, so the Pats are playing another tough opponent, division game against the Bills. Look at it this way: if they beat the Bills, they'll be 2-0 in their division, and they'll have hope. But I have no, there's no. Have you seen their schedule? It's not good. I think
but you can never count them out, though, man.
Crazier things have happened, but.
Can't count them out, man.
This offense right now is not giving me hope for anything. So if they beat the Bills, they probably going to have to run the ball 50, 60 times.
But at least we have a quarterback that actually has the skill and talent to have the team reach a successful point.
Yeah. Yeah, I just hope he gets right because he hasn't looked right for a while. No. Also, you people that keep thinking Jared Stidham is going to be the guy, y'all need to stop it. Stop it with this Jared Stidham, he's going to be the guy. Tell me this. If Jared Stidham was actually good, wouldn't he have beaten out Brian Hoyer as the backup quarterback for the team?
Yeah, definitely. But also, we got the type of fans that like really think Scalabrine should have played like a lot of minutes for the Celtics. And I like Scalabrine. Scalabrine got game, but at that level, like he's wasn't
just a role player.
Yeah, like so these people just really don't understand the game.
They're just quick. There's the Cam Newton hate is just that's like one of top. So they're just trying to look for any reason to put somebody else in. But it's not Jared Stidham. I know a lot of y'all want Jared Stidham to go in the game, but I've just seen 2 games. He came in the game and he threw 2 interceptions. Each time he's came in. He's thrown an interception each time he's came in at the end of the game. What do you think is going to happen when he's actually starting the game? And the team has a whole game plan for him.
The only issue with backups with stinks is they just don't get the leeway that starters get. Yeah. That'll throw a couple intros and they get the chance to, fight through it. And as soon as they get the intros, they get yanked. So it's like you don't really know what he can really do for you if you don't play.
Tells you a lot when you start off the season on third string behind Brian Hoyer. Yeah. Because Brian Hoyer's not good.
But he might be a great practice player. And then when the lights get bright, he's just like, oh, you know what I mean? You never know. Like
from what I read in training camp, he was throwing it to the other team.
In training camp too?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
I ain't played no football, so I try to give, somewhat of the benefit of doubt. And I'm like, there got to be a reason why he's playing ahead of this guy.
Yeah, I understand. But when I read from guys that cover the team and they're telling me this dude's just throwing interceptions.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
in training camp, then it's like, no. All right. Dallas Cowboys, their struggles continue. They got whooped on by a team that doesn't even have a name. That was just embarrassing.
I think they're tanking.
I think so too.
You know, you gave Zeke the ball 12 times. So are you trying to save him from getting injured?
I don't know. Zeke hasn't looked the same. He hasn't looked right too. He's another guy that hasn't looked right because he had COVID during the offseason, but he hasn't looked right.
Yeah, but Dalton had COVID. He ain't never looked right.
That they can't block for him. They weren't blocking for him. I think Dalton was he was getting sacked or getting pressured every other position. And then you see that hit that got him concussed. Yeah, that's been the talk, and it's like, man, yeah, that tells a lot about the team because nobody fought after that.
Nah, man. I mean, Jerry Jones is your owner. Granted, they probably enjoy playing for the Cowboys organization because it's a prize franchise and longevity. I mean, the historical aspects of it. But I don't think a lot of guys really care to play for a guy who doesn't show that he cares for the players.
Yeah, but you got to stick up for your teammate at some point. You can't especially on that. You know, they talk about quarterback safety. That was just a dirty play. You got to stick up for your teammate.
I get it, but they don't even know Dalton. He just got there.
Hey, man.
I feel you, though, but he just got there, for real. He just
Yeah, that just shows other team that they really don't have this. They don't have this. When you could push them around, you could do whatever to their quarterback, and they won't do nothing about it because they ain't do nothing about it at all.
I'm still looking at their passing yards per play, and it's 2.1.
That's terrible.
You better off just giving Zeke the ball. That's my point. You might as well just give Zeke the ball and have Dalton throw the ball 10 times, like Jimmy G was doing in the playoffs.
The problem with them, they got so many issues, especially on offense. The offensive line is not the same. Their receiver, I don't know. They're just not good. There's no other way to put it. They're just not good. When you allow 208 yards rushing and you give a guy named Antonio Gibson 128 yards on 6 yards per carry, that just lets me know that you're not a mentally tough team or you're a tough team at all.
And Washington didn't play too bad.
Yeah, they didn't play too bad at all, and their opponent just took the beating.
Yeah, they did.
And you know what the crazy thing is? If the Cowboys win this weekend, they'll be I think they'll be tied for first place in their division.
That's why there's a problem with the NFL. They gotta just make two big old conferences and all that divisional stuff, man. Whoever the top 4 or 5, man, this is stupid.
Yeah,
you just gotta honestly, you gotta send guys out. If they make the playoffs, you just send guys out in the game to get hurt. They ain't gonna win no. Man, you for real? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they play Philly this weekend, but I don't know. That team, throw that whole division away. Everybody in that division is horrible. Just throw it away. Then you got your guy stumbling and bumbling on a 90-yard touchdown. Well, could have been a 90-yard touchdown run, and this dude just. I think somebody put the meme of Lance Stevenson blowing.
You talking about this dude?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Oh man, I said I don't think I ever picked the Giants ever again.
Yeah. Nah.
How do you fall over running by yourself?
Man, I don't know.
I be scared my dog's gonna do that when she's running, and she don't even do that. So how you an adult? Usually, and you just
usually people that do that got big heads and they can't. A thriller happened on Sunday between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. This division, every team has a winning record in the NFC West. I think every team is 4-2, 4-3, or 5-2, or something like that. And this came down to the wire. I fell asleep during this game because I was just tired. And
I didn't even see most of it.
Yeah, I fell asleep, but Arizona was down 34-24 with under 5 minutes left, and they were down 10, and they scored 10 points in the final 2:28 to force overtime. And it was just and Russell Wilson did some things that was with the 3 interceptions, you rarely see him make bad mistakes, and Arizona capitalized.
Yeah, they did, because when you look at the score, you look at all the mishaps the Seahawks had, this game shouldn't have been that close. Mm-hmm. For Russell to throw 3 interceptions, and then Seattle to have 8 penalties for 78 yards, you know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? Nah. And honestly, they still had a chance, though. Because like I said, converting third downs is big in the NFL. I don't know. I don't really see a lot of analysts saying it too much. Mm-hmm. But that's a vital point to continue your drives. And if they would have converted one or two more, because Seattle went 5 for 13, Arizona went 5 for 12. If they'd have converted 1 or 2 more of those, this game wouldn't have been that close.
Man, Like the Arizona's last 2-minute drill, it was amazing. Like they got the ball in Seattle territory with like 10 seconds left, and Larry Fitzgerald grabs the ball and places it down for them to get to spike it and kick the field goal. And then in overtime, they kicked the field goal. That was good, but the coach called the timeout. So they had to re-kick it, and of course the kicker missed.
It's usually how it goes.
Seattle goes down and turnover, and then that's all she wrote.
Also, too, though, I still feel they have Wilson doing too much. For him throwing the ball over 50 times, and then him being like one of the leading carries, that's just too much going on. And then it's more liable for him to throw 3 interceptions when he's doing his workload is too much.
Oh, both quarterbacks led the team in rushing.
Yeah, granted, it benefits them against certain teams, but it's not in the long run. I don't think it will in the long run. You need a reliable running back. Mm-hmm. He needs them reps. He just needs that.
Yeah,
Need part of the offense.
both teams' running backs got hurt. Chris Carson, he's hurt. He's going to be out for a while. Kenyon Drake for the Cardinals, he's hurt. He's going to be out for a while. So you're going to have to switch it up. But Kyler Murray, man, he got 5 games this year with over 60-plus rushing yards and a touchdown. I think he's got over 400 yards rushing. He's on pace to have to throw for 4,000 yards and rush for close to 1,000 or 800 to 1,000 yards.
Nah, he's balling. He definitely came to play this game. You know what I mean? He sees the opportunity. He showed that he's definitely a leader. Yep. And he's gonna. And the Cardinals should be all right in the future.
And then DeAndre Hopkins too. I mean, boy, Houston sure wish they had him because he leads the league in reception and receiving yards. He got 57 receptions. So far through 7 games, he's on pace to have another 100 catch season, which will be his third 100 catch season. So,
I think he's the best receiver in the league.
The way he's been playing, yeah, and they gave him up for some crumbs, and I think they've got 1 win, Houston.
Man, you already know it. We don't need get me started with those guys.
The Bucks went into the Death Star. That's what they call the Raiders Stadium, the Death Star.
I mean, I do got the Vader. I do got the Vader. That's right. That's Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I'm like a perpetrator with it, so I don't even know Star Wars like that. I think Death Star.
Yeah, they went into the Death Star and they got a win. And we've been seeing this team the past 4 or 5 games start getting their offense rolling. Also, their defense. Their defense is kind of starting to look scary. They're kind of starting to look like the 2002 Tampa Bay defense with Sapp and them boys. How they're playing, because this guy Devin White, this dude. Let me bring up his stat. In that game, he had 11 tackles and 3 sacks at the linebacker position.
Yeah, man.
That's tough. I think they got, as a team, their defense as a team, they got a +5 in turnover differential, and they got 9 interceptions. 9 interceptions. They forced 7 fumbles and recovered 3. So not only they're sacking the quarterback, but they're getting turnovers too, and their offense is scoring points. That's tough to beat.
I'll be honest, I thought the game was over early. I thought the Bucks had, the Raiders early because they were down. But then when the Raiders battled back, it became a game. But then, fourth quarter came and they just, they just stretched the league.
That's one thing we'll give the Raiders. They usually when they fall behind, they they
just lay down.
Yeah, but now they're showing more fight. These guys showing more fight, and a lot of their games are pretty competitive. Especially, you thought they might come out with this win because they beat the Chiefs, had a bye, and then you come home to host the game. So you thought they had.
Oh, they could have. They could have came out with a win.
They could have.
But they got guys like Aguilar.
Yeah.
Still dropping important passes, man.
He's actually been catching. That
one.
He gave everybody hope, and then he went.
Yeah, then he resorted. He relapsed, man. Why you relapsing for, man? Like.
Yeah,
but he's been playing well since he got out of Philly though. I think the whole culture in Philly just sucks the life out of you.
Yeah,
as a football player.
And those fans too.
Man, they boot Santa, bro. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true. Also, Gronkowski, look at the last 2 games: 10 catches, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 targets.
They're clicking.
Yeah, he's clicking, and he's starting to look. I think he's finally. I took him. I mean, expected when you set out a year. It's going to take you a while to get back to it. And he's now being.
Yeah, I don't think they're where they're gonna be. I still think they have some things to figure out. They're gonna come across some, teams are gonna challenge them. But they're beating the bad teams and they're beating the high teams.
That's the scary part too. Like when they get it going, and they got the Giants coming up next. So it's kind of like they're scrimmaging out there.
Yeah, I don't even know how some of these teams are even teams, man.
Yeah. And Brady, we was getting on him for the interceptions early. He's thrown 1 interception in the last 5 games. And, hey, 16 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 5 games. When that happens, this is what we've been saying. He's not going to do what their last quarterback did with all the turnovers. And now we're seeing it. That. Even though I think the Cowboys should make a call to Jameis, because I think they really could use him. Because we team Jameis over here, but...
I can't even understand some of these quarterbacks that are starting in the NFL. But
Jameis literally the Cowboys should literally just call Jameis. The trade deadline's this weekend or next week. No, the trade deadline's next week. Make that call. Get Jameis on because he'll make your offense look like an actual NFL offense again.
For real.
Yeah. So we team Jameis over here. All right. Steelers, Titans. The Steelers dominated this game throughout. Then the Titans made a push through in the second half, but this was all about the Steelers because they made Derrick Henry kind of look like a normal human being.
I was gonna say, it said in my notes they should have thrown the ball more. Henry just didn't have it today. You know what I mean? He couldn't break out.
They weren't letting him.
Nah, not at all, not at all. But man. They should have capitalized. Been throwing 3 interceptions, bro. But when you can't further your drives, going 5 out of 13 third downs, it's like and Pitt was consistently, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, the Steelers had a chance to just put the game away because they were down in the red zone with like 2 minutes left or under 2 minutes left, and Ben throws an interception. Which gave the Titans a chance to either score for the victory or send it to overtime, and then kickers do what kickers do and miss it. But this game just showed blueprint that Derrick Henry can be stopped if you get physical with him. Because no matter how big you are, people don't like getting hit like that. Nah. And the Steelers they were hitting him,
especially when they focus on you. You know what I mean? Tannehill should have been throwing the ball at least 40 times this game just to relieve some pressure. Because Henry's the guy on that team, not Tannehill. And that's what they got to realize.
Yeah, definitely. And they fell behind, too, so they couldn't even they couldn't even run the ball like they wanted to, even if they wanted to, because they fell behind so early. And then they had turnovers. Pittsburgh was doing whatever they wanted throughout most of the game, man. So they're the only undefeated team left in the league, and who would have thought that the sketchy quarterback coming back would make the big difference at his advanced age? Because a lot of people didn't think he could still play.
And not even that. There's no Antonio Brown. So then it makes you feel like who was really the issue. Makes you wonder who was really the issue.
When you can spread the ball around and, without worrying about the receiver having a fit or whatever, but, hey, kudos to the Steelers. I still don't like them, but, we give props when props is due, but the quarterback's still sketchy. OBJ is done for the season, and fittingly it would happen after a Baker Mayfield interception. He would tear his ACL trying to chase down the defensive back who intercepted it off another bad interception by Baker Mayfield, who turned out to have a great game, but that's 2 years in a row Odell's season's been cut short. And he's getting to that age where we'll start saying, I don't know, teams are going to look at him. He's going to stay with the Browns because of his contract, but it's getting to that it's to that point with him now.
I don't want to say karma as an athlete because he was acting a fool with the Giants. Then they shipped him. He wasn't happy, very boisterous about it, acting a fool, and then they shipped him to Cleveland, and this happens to him. Compared to just being a little more professional and then being shipped somewhere that you'll be appreciated.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless I'm remembering things the wrong way, but it just sucks for any athlete to tear their ACL. But it's just like I feel like for one, Cleveland, the Browns, it's just a team that is in a standstill when it comes to like just the organization improving, everything improving, just in a standstill. So for him, he's an elite, you know what I mean, skill player. So he needs to be under the bright lights, man.
Yeah, especially it just sucks for him too, because he missed most of the end of last season too. So he's coming off a few injuries, you know, because he had some injuries. His I think his last full season with the Giants, he was hurt. Like it's like this is like three years in a row. Like his season's been cut short because of injuries, and you know now you know crazy people are talking about, are the Browns better off without him? Is Baker Mayfield better off without him because he played one great game without him? And we're just like, somebody said it best. They said, if Baker Mayfield can't figure out how to get Odell Beckham the ball, that's a Baker Mayfield problem, and that's not an Odell Beckham Jr. problem. Because people are trying to make it seem like Odell is like this bad teammate that's demonstrative, will always demand the ball, but it's like, nah, y'all need to stop that, because people keep trying to give Baker Mayfield passes for not playing well. You know, he played well this weekend, but he hasn't consistently played well all year long for the past 2 years. He hasn't put together good games. And then somebody brought this up, his record against winning teams is like 23-29 or something like that. So like he played well against bad teams, but then when it comes to teams that are actually good or actually playoff type teams, he doesn't play well at all.
Oh, we know that certain quarterbacks usually don't get much blame. Usually other skill players are the ones that they use as scapegoats, you know what I mean? So I'm a big OBJ fan, you know what I mean? But I just feel like sometimes energy is big. Yeah. And sometimes you just need to humble yourself a little more. A lot of blessings to come to you, you know what I mean? And
I think with OBJ, with the Browns, I think he was trying to... you could see he was trying to be a team leader, but it was just like him and it was the quarterback.
My whole thing is it was too late because he already got shipped there. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have got shipped, you could have got sent somewhere else if you just went about it a better way. Yeah.
They could have got a competent quarterback who got two pretty good receivers to figure out how to get these guys the ball. But whatever, everybody will give all the excuses for Baker Mayfield, and then they'll talk about this game with him throwing 5 touchdowns. But we want to see it against playoff teams, because right now he's entering that Matt Stafford category where you can just have great stats against bad teams, but never, you know, when it matters against teams that you actually need to beat. So we'll see what happens. But also OBJ, he got banned from LSU for 2 years, you know, for last year for the money on the field. But the way they put that story, they try, because LSU they punished themselves for a booster giving money to an offensive lineman, money that he stole from a hospital. Yeah, that was the big part of the story. That was like the big story, but they try to make it seem like the way the headline was put, it seemed like it was OBJ. The reason they're doing these self-imposed sanctions are because of OBJ. But then you read the article, it's because a booster was stealing money from a hospital to give to a player. And with that, we will go to the No Huddle with Craig, and we'll be right back.
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. As always, it's your boy Craig here to give you my top DraftKings picks of the week. And starting off with the quarterback position, I'm going to go through this quick because I got something I need to say about these New England Patriots. In the quarterback position, I got Justin Herbert going up against Denver. I think that's going to be a nice little shootout, and Justin Herbert's been going hard. In the running back position, I got CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire going up against the Jets. They're going to go hard against the Jets. They're going to put up a lot of points. And once they got the game in the bag, they're going to switch to the run game, giving Clyde all the touches he can handle. DeAndre Swift going up against Indy. I think that's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a fun game. And I think Detroit has been really working on getting the run game going. And I see DeAndre Swift getting the goal line touches. In the wide receiver position, surely becoming one of my favorite wide receivers, A.J. Brown facing Cincinnati's terrible offense. Terrible defense. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Cincinnati also airs it out, so it's going to be a high-scoring game, and expect A.J. Brown to take big advantage of that. Next, on the opposite side of the ball, I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd. Once again, Joe Burrows is a dog. He's throwing it downfield all day, looking great. And Tyler Boyd is obviously his favorite target. So look for Boyd to get a lot of touches and a lot of yards. Next, I had to go a little low. You spend a lot of money, you got to pick someone a little bit cheaper. Cole Beasley going up against New England Patriots. New England Patriots defense is one of the toughest defenses in the league. But our offense hasn't been playing too great, and with Buffalo doing as well as they are, and them having a quality defense, I kind of expect the Buffalo offense to be on the field early and often. And with Stephon Diggs being covered pretty well, I expect Cole Beasley to get many touches. Maybe not necessarily a touchdown, but a lot of catches. In the tight end position, for the first time ever, I think I'm saying his name, is David Njoku for Cleveland. They're going up against Las Vegas. It's going to be a shootout. Odell Beckham is gone, and Austin Hooper is out, leaving Njoku to kind of swallow up some of them yards. The backup tight end was getting the tutties last week, but I think this week David Njoku is going to step up. And then in the flex position, I went with Henry Ruggs. Once again, it's going to be a shootout between Las Vegas and Cleveland, and I think it's going to be a pretty good game, pretty exciting game. And Henry Ruggs with that speed and getting downfield, I think Derek Carr is going to be looking to hit him on the deep routes. And then finally with the defense, I'm going to pick on Miami Dolphins. They got a rookie quarterback coming in, Jalen Ramsey playing awesome. Aaron Donald playing awesome. I see the Rams putting these guys in deep, deep trouble. So Justin Herbert, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Swift, A.J. Brown, Tyler Boyd, Cole Beasley, David Njoku, Henry Ruggs, and the Rams defense. Now let me take a quick minute to talk about my New England Patriots, because a lot of people out there jabber-jawing about my guy Cam Newton. And let's be clear, last year we had the same exact problem with the best quarterback in the league. Our wide receivers are not good. They can't gain separation, and they have. I don't believe they have any fight in them. It's just not quality. Julian Edelman is a clutch wide receiver, but his hands have become suspect. N'Keal Harry is slow. Bunch of rookies. Bird. I don't know why we even signed Bird, but he hasn't been doing much of anything. And then you got the rookie wide receiver, the second-year wide receiver. Why can't I think of his name? Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers. He's still young. He's still learning the system. They're trying to move him in, but right now we ain't got no receivers. Our run game is extremely suspect, and you want Cam Newton to just do everything on his own? That can't happen. So let's give this a little bit of time. We all knew we was going to have a losing season. I don't know what everybody thought all of a sudden Patriots was going to be undefeated or Patriots was going to win 10, 11 games. That ain't going to happen. We'll be lucky if we go 8-8 this season, and it ain't got nothing to do with Cam. He's the best player on our team. Give it a little time. Give him some moments. Hopefully before the trade deadline ends, Patriots make a move for a wide receiver. I see us maybe making a trade, trading away Stephon Gilmore to maybe get the likes of Julio Jones or someone to that caliber who can gain separation. I also like John Ross. I think that would be a huge pickup for New England. He's a speedster. He got good hands, but we definitely need help. So with that being said, that's my time. And check me out next week on No Huddle. Back to After the Whistle.
Thank you, Craig, for that. And we are back. All right, let's go to New England Sports Update with Mia Lynn. Sports Update, and we'll be back with some more news and information.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another segment of New England Sports Scores and Updates. I'm Mia Lynn, and today I'll be breaking down the latest in the sports world over the last week. To start off, the Boston College Eagles defeated the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech this past Saturday. The final score was 48-27. This was the first time that the Eagles defeated Georgia Tech since 2007. Despite a scoreless fourth quarter for the Eagles, they were able to establish their lead early in the game with a 14-point first and third quarter, as well as a 20-point second quarter. Quarterback Phil Dracovic led in two main categories, throwing for 145 yards and 2 touchdown passes, as well as rushing for 94 yards with 7 carries. Also playing well for the Eagles was C.J. Lewis, who recorded 2 touchdowns, both of those coming in the first quarter. This win was a big one for the Eagles as they were able to successfully bounce back after their worst performance of the season to date against Virginia Tech. They now stand with an overall record of 4-2 and a conference record of 3-2, which places them at a tie for 6th place in the ACC with Virginia Tech. The Eagles will look to continue marching in the right direction as they are scheduled to take on the number 1 Clemson Tigers this Saturday at noon. In MLB news, the Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Tampa Bay Rays last night in Game 6 to capture their first World Series title since 1988. After they took the series lead in Game 1, the Dodgers fell to the Rays in Game 2, resulting in an even series. This pattern continued through Games 3 to 5, with the Dodgers taking the series again and the Rays tying it up again. Luckily for the Dodgers, they were able to break that pattern and secure the crown. In UFC news, fighter Khabib announced his retirement following his latest victory. He retires with a 29-0 career record and a 13-0 UFC record. After his father passed away in July due to COVID-19 complications, he and his mother decided that it would be best if he doesn't continue fighting without his father. He and his mother also agreed that this fight this past weekend, which was his first fight without his father, would be his last. The emotional UFC fighter shocked the world and ended the day by saying, quote, "Today was my last fight. Ain't no way I'm going to come here without my father." Lastly, in NCAA news, the University of Arizona has been given 9 allegations of misconduct, 5 of those being level 1 allegations, the most serious one. These allegations come after an investigation of the men's basketball program that took place over several years. It was also announced that Arizona was charged with lack of institutional control and failure to monitor. Additionally, men's basketball coach Sean Miller and women's swimming and diving coach Augie Bush were charged with lack of head coach control. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week for another segment of New England Sports Scores and Updates.
All right, thank you, Mia, for that. We are back with some more information for you guys quickly. This happened in UFC. Khabib announced his retirement after he beat the brakes off. Well, I don't even know the guy. You watched the fight. I don't even know his name.
I forgot his name, Ganji or something like that. But it didn't matter to me because I was rooting for Khabib. So like,
yeah, he retires undefeated. What is it, 29-0?
Yep.
29-0. And the main reason why he retired, he just can't do this. He can't be in the octagon or just fight without his father being there. His father passed away earlier this year from complications from COVID. Him and his mom spoke, and they just said pretty much he pretty much just can't do it without his father being there. And it was just like that was what their thing, that father-son bond. And I completely understand it, because when you're so used to having him there for all your fights, your coach, just your father there, now he can't be there no more. It's just different.
Yeah, and he promised his mother that'll be his last fight because she didn't want him to fight anymore.
Yeah.
So, the man of his word told his mother that's what it was. So.
Plus, fighting, UFC is just a dangerous thing. So just go out on top when you healthy. You ain't got no messed up face, no cuts or nothing. Just go out on top.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure and plus this dude wrestles bears and stuff, so he'll be all right. He'll be all right in life. He'll do some other things, but
probably do some movies and stuff.
Yeah, man, probably he should have been in when Jackie Moon fought the bear in semi-pro.
Oh yeah,
they should have put him in semi-pro fighting the bear. Oh man! All right, we gonna go to Athletes Corner and talk to local boxer Jelame Garcia about his boxing journey, and he's getting ready to get back in the ring. So, Athletes Corner, we gonna come back and wrap this up. Apparently, I guess. All right, and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we have Jelame Garcia, professional boxer, here to chat with me. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. So, we here talking about boxing. Boxing has got a lot of press the past couple weeks after the fight that happened a couple weeks ago with Lomachenko. You watched that fight?
Yeah, I watched that fight. It was I don't know, it's boxing, I'm saying. Anything happens, so can't really judge it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what was your overall
judge.
Yeah, what was your overall thoughts? Because every time in boxing, it's like the scores is always varying. You got some people say he this person won, some people.
Yeah, it all depends on the judges, know what I mean? How they look at it, know what I'm saying? It's different look when you're on the outside than it is when you're in there, know what I mean? So you could judge a fight all you want from looking at it from the outside, but when you're really in there, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, yeah,
Know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So most of them judges are pretty old too. So like I'm not saying their eyesight is horrible, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? From
Yeah,
somebody who's younger and more active in the brain, you know what I mean?
yeah, definitely, definitely. And that seems to always been throughout the history of boxing. That seems to always be the problem is the scoring and how certain
Yeah.
judges score it. And you can see
It's
one
been
guy.
fights where you could clearly see the winner and that person will still get robbed. You know, boxing's unpredictable. You know,
Yeah,
you got to go in there and show out, or you're gonna have a close fight, and you know what I'm saying, it could go both ways. You don't want it to go both ways. You want to be the winner.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, for you, let's talk about you and your boxing journey. How long have you been boxing? When did you first start, and how long has the journey been for you?
I'm 26 now, so I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. So it's been a while now.
And
Yeah.
in all this time, what are some things that you've picked up that you've learned along the way? Since you started from 10 until now?
Just staying active. You know what I'm saying? Like it humbles me. You know what I mean? It keeps me. It's more of a therapy for me. You know what I mean? It's not just boxing. So
Mhm.
like I do it to make myself feel better, as in like stress or anything that I'm going through. I'll take it out in the gym,
Mhm.
and after I work out, I'll feel good. So it's not just about fighting. You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And many people, whatever they do when they love something, they use that as their piece. And just talk about,
Right.
because it's such a hard sport. The human body ain't supposed to be taking all those hits to the head, but it's such a hard sport to do. How are you just able to just maintain and stay focused?
Boxing, you're gonna get hit. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting somebody with arms, so the best thing you could do is try not to get hit. You know what I mean? Smart way to do it is hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? That's what my coach Alex always taught us since a youngin, is to hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? That's the game of the playing.
Yeah, and we talk about the boxing scene in Lynn because there's a lot of fighters in Lynn. There's some that are doing things. We got some that are coming up. Even some young kids are starting into boxing. Just when you see that, the more and more kids from Lynn are getting into boxing. We got an Olympian. Just
Um,
that.
it feels good, you know what I'm saying? Because Lynn has a reputation of not being good, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When you hear of Lynn, you hear of bad things, violence. You know, you don't want the city to have that outlook. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you do something wrong, they're so quick to put it on the news and on the newspaper. You know what I mean? But when people are trying to do good, they don't want to show out. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have this interview and let the world know. You know, let the city of Lynn, brighten up a little bit, because we don't get that shot. That, like you said, there's plenty of people coming up. You know, we got plenty of boxes from Lynn, and it's not the right support. We need the right support to take them there. You know what I'm saying? They don't. We don't have that support here. We need that. We need to support each other to
Yeah,
get where we want to get. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely,
That's
and
how I look at it.
definitely. And for you, how many fights in your career? How many fights have you had so far in your career?
As an amateur, I fought like around 60. Have 60 fights, and professional right now, I'm 7-0 with 6 knockouts.
Okay, and when was your last fight that you had?
My last fight has been a while, almost 2 years.
Okay.
Um, Won that by decision. It was a good fight. Guy was tough. You know what I mean? But that's what we're here for. We're here to face the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Why such a long time between fights? The 2 years.
To be honest, it was more on me. Like I wasn't in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I started working, and
Okay.
I recently just had a kid. And recently the pandemic, we just opened up the gym. You know what I mean? So now I'm back, slowly getting back in it
Hmm.
and trying to get busy as soon as possible.
Yeah. Is how how much how long is it for how long is it for professional when you take so much time off? How long is it to you get your adrenaline flowing, you get your rhythm going?
To
Just
be honest, I'm blessed with a natural talent. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like I could leave the gym. Not saying to do it and it's not good to do it. It's good to always stay in the gym and stay sharp. But like when I do come back, I still have the skills. You know what I mean? It's something that you just don't forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get taught, and you just it's like with anything. You know what I mean? It's like riding a bike. You learn how to pedal. You just gonna keep on riding.
Yeah.
Same with boxing. I got taught and I fell in love with it, and I just I just know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just comes to me. It's probably
That-
the only thing I know how to do, really.
Yeah, definitely. Is it one of those things that when you have so much time, even though you're not in the gym like you used to, is it like you do little things at home to just keep you staying sharp?
Yeah, yeah, you do little workouts. You could do shadow boxing. There's a lot of little things you could do. To be honest, the reason I haven't been active because I got in a little bit of trouble a couple of years back.
Hmm.
So I was in the penitentiary for a little bit of some time. So I wasn't able to fight. You know what I mean? So I got out, and I started getting busy, and I'm slowly now getting back into it. You know what I mean?
How much would you say you're almost to where you at, or how much closer are you to where you were at before?
I have a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like my goal is to be the champ of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. You know what I mean? And I got a long way to go. You know, this
Yeah.
game's all about experience. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning.
Yeah. And with this pandemic, how a lot of things can't do a lot of things right now. Can't do certain things, and as far as fighting or getting ready for a fight, is that hindering you on getting a fight? This pandemic, or scheduling
Um,
a fight?
well, they now started fighting recently, but they're not having people there. So like there will be no crowd. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the gym now is open for certain people, like people that are staying active. You know what I mean? So at least I'm able to train still. And the fight situation, yeah, there'll still be fights, but like I said, there'll be no crowd.
Hmm. Are you in preparation for scheduling one? Are you looking at opponents right now? Or
Um,
just
around
right now?
the coach said something about there's a lot of fights coming up. You know what I'm saying? He just wants me to lose the weight first, because right now, since I not haven't been active, you know what I mean? The gym just opened back. I
Yeah.
gained a little bit of weight, you know what I mean? So now I'm in the process of losing that and getting down to my fighting weight. And once I'm there, that's when we'll schedule a fight.
What's your normal fight? What's your actual fighting weight?
Right now I fight 160. So right now I'm walking around 170 something.
Okay.
So I got a couple pounds to lose before I get into fighting weight.
Can you talk about that? Because boxers, they gain and lose weight. It's incredible how much they gain and how much they lose weight in a short
It
span
is.
of
It
time.
could be dangerous too.
Yeah. Can you just talk about
It
that?
could be Yeah, it could be dangerous. Gaining weight, losing weight, you got to be smart with it. Like my coach always told me, start soon. I mean, don't wait for like 2 weeks before the fight to try to drop 15 pounds, because you're gonna feel weak after. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We had experience with that with other people who fight. And weight, you got to be smart with it. You got to really eat good. Like you could go to the gym and train all you want and sweat all you want. If you go home and you eat whatever you want, you know what I mean? It's like you never trained. You're still gonna be at that weight or even heavier.
Hmm. So
You know what I
a
mean?
lot more drinking water and stuff.
Drinking not too much water, because water, there's such thing as water weight too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you could also gain weight by drinking water. So you gotta slowly sip water, take little sips, and try not to drink too much.
Hmm.
Just enough to stay hydrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. Now you talked about that, when you got in trouble a couple of years and getting away from that. What was, that whole experience when you sat back and looked at it? What was the bigger picture? What you got out of it? What you learned from the situation?
The whole picture. Well, my mentality was to get back into the sport of boxing, and that's exactly what I did. But like you said, what are some things you do when you're not at the gym, or if the gym is closed, or like you said, I was in the penitentiary. I work out, you know what I mean? I shadow box. I had my cellmate hold up sandals for me. I'll punch the sandals. So I found my way to keep in shape in there. I will run around the block, you know what I mean? So when it didn't take me too long to get back in shape, you know what I'm saying?
Did that
So
did that also help you mentally in there?
yes, you have a lot of time to nothing to do besides think. I mean, work out, keep yourself healthy, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I really had to do, and I mean I had no choice.
Yeah, no doubt, no
Learned a
doubt.
lot from it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, just for people that want to follow you, that want to learn more about your boxing, just let them know your social media if they want to follow you, on the
You can
website. Or
follow me at Jelame on my Instagram, Jelame Garcia. Same with Facebook, and I'll check you guys out.
and you also train with the Rivera brothers, one of the Rivera
Yeah,
brothers.
I'm still with the Rivera brothers, Alex Rivera. There's three coaches, Albert and Andy,
Hmm.
and the other one is in Puerto Rico. So we got a big camp. You know what I'm saying? We got great support from them.
Yeah, can you just talk
training.
about them, because they've done so much for boxers, especially for
They've been doing this for a while. They've been doing. I've been with my coach since I was a kid, and I wouldn't want to do it with nobody different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very guy outside of boxing. He's just a great man in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Jelame, man, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming on to chat with me. Definitely, when you got a fight set up and stuff, you want to get some behind the scenes, feel free to contact us. We'll help you out as much as we can. All right.
No doubt, brother. I appreciate it. I'll reach out to you, man. Thanks for reaching out.
No doubt. You guys have been watching the Lynn Load. I said Lynn Load. You guys have been watching the Athlete's Corner. Boxer Jelame Garcia. Make sure to go follow him on Instagram. All right, have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and we are back. Thank you, Jelame, for that interview. Make sure, go follow him on Instagram. We'll check him out. We got a lot of boxers in Lynn. Lynn has a boxing culture that we need to talk more about, because
shed some light on.
Yeah, they definitely need to shed some light on, because we got an Olympian, Shitty. Mm-hmm. We know her family and all that. So her brothers are boxers too and stuff like that.
They're on TV.
Yeah, so there's boxers in Lynn. We got talent here. Not only in boxing, but every other sport too.
And just because you might not know them or ever cross paths with them doesn't mean you can't support.
Definitely. Make sure you go support him. Also, homie got a fight this weekend. Kyrie.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I bit my tongue. I haven't saw anything about it.
I think he has a fight either this weekend or next weekend. I know he got a fight coming up. I seen him posted on his Instagram. So he got a fight coming up. So good luck to him. If it's this weekend, good luck to him. If not, if it's next weekend, still good luck to him. Yeah, keep on doing it. Hey, as long as y'all doing something productive, it's better than doing nothing.
Exactly.
All right, let's go around the world of sports real quick. The Dodgers won the World Series last night.
Yep.
First World Series in 32 years. 1988 was their last one.
Oh, they were losing the World Series.
Yeah, 3 straight. Yeah, they lost the other ones.
They won one.
Nope, one of those was to the Red Sox, 2018, when the Red Sox beat them.
Boom,
so yeah, LA sucks.
Whoa.
Whatever, I don't care. But news that came out in this, Justin Turner tested positive for COVID-19, and he was playing in the game, and they had to pull him out in the game. I think they were already deep into the game. Maybe I want to say like 6, 7, one of the later innings. They had to pull him out because the results of the test had came in.
Was he sneezing on people?
I don't know, but he was playing with the positive COVID test, and then after the game, there's a photo of him kissing his girlfriend.
So, for one, some things you're just not gonna stop. You know what I mean? So if he got COVID, he'd be quarantined with his girl anyway. So that's just their situation. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's peak 2020 right there. That's peak 2020.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how many of his teammates test positive for COVID in the upcoming days. So we'll see this whole effect. That's just woo. Yeah, that is.
I don't really know what to really say to that, because it's like he's alive, he's healthy. He got COVID, but he played well. So I'm like, is it really what's it really affect?
I don't know. All right, University of Florida. 6 more players. University of Florida football. 6 more players tested positive for COVID. This is after they've had time off. After 19 players testing positive, they had just came back and opened the football facility back up and practicing. Now 6 players.
That day, how many days were they practicing for?
What are we on Thursday? What's today? Wednesday? Probably like Monday, Tuesday.
These people don't realize football is not like basketball in the idea of it's like full contact. They're falling on each other. Some even drool on each other through the face mask. It's just a lot of factors that come into these things. Who knows what other things play in factor of you contracting COVID? You know what I mean? Because the NBA, it's physical. It's not full on contact, but you do fall on each other, but there were 0 cases. So what are these people coming across, you know what I mean? Or are they venturing out other places where they shouldn't?
Venturing out. other places probably. It's college students, man.
And
It's college students. So yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, University of Wisconsin canceled their game versus Nebraska due to COVID outbreak this weekend. Another one. I've been saying just shut it all down.
You have to shut it down. There's gonna be too many more COVID cases. For one, people don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Especially Americans. They have an issue with that, as you could see. And two, it's just football is just you're on each other too much. There's no way to not contract something. Like I just don't understand why they don't think. But it's such a big market with in regards to revenue. They're gonna try to squeeze as much juice out of it as they can.
Also, there was another one. There's another player. He was playing. I forget his name. He played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's done for the season because he's been hospitalized because of COVID. He's been hospitalized twice because of COVID-19. And this happened over the weekend. And this was a story that was completely just brushed under the rug and not made like it wasn't a big deal when it should be a big deal because this guy in the hospital. But that's another thing with this. There's a big indictment on society right now. What's happening with these sports being played? So, woo, man, it's terrible. Also, the team from Washington, they offered Eric Reed. They offered Eric Reed to join their practice squad, and he declined, which he should because dude's been a starter his whole career. He's always produced. He knows that defense, and their starting safety is done for the season with an Achilles injury, and you want to bring him in, an All-Pro. He's been an All-Pro. He's only 28, and you want to bring him in to the practice squad? When he was on a football team, he was on the field on the team last year.
I'm insulted for him because I feel like the people that are making these calls or writing these letters or emails are people who never played the game of football, like whatsoever. Like don't even really have a clue about the game.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And it's an insult because,
he was legit. He was a starting safety last season before, the Panthers got a new regime and released him. But, yeah, that's very insulting to him.
And I only say that because I know people that did internships with certain professional teams that can't play worth a lick.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they're like, now they're like in the organization. So it's like, granted, there's nothing wrong with their knowledge, but you got to know how to address certain people, especially if you're not on that level.
Definitely. And this is and I think, Eric Reed is still trying to, this whole him being with him always supporting Kaepernick and all that. This is another thing that's playing a role into it. So it's just like when your starting safety's out, you guys are talking about you want to give this young guy a chance. Then why'd you even bother contacting him?
That's just a backhanded compliment,
right?
Like, we want to bring you in on a practice squad. Like, excuse me, like you didn't even say as a coach or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Like for the practice squad, and your excuses and your reasoning is because you have a young player that you want to see how he does. All right, if you got a young player, why are you calling me?
If you got a young player, put him in the game.
Right, why are you calling me for?
He does put him in the game. Like, what?
Oh, man. All right, the Cowboys, they trade Everson Griffin to the Detroit Lions, one of their defensive linemen. I mean, I'm guessing he's happy to be out of Dallas, but he's going to Detroit. I don't know how much better that could be for him, but I guess anything's better than Dallas at this point.
Yeah, definitely anything's better than Dallas.
The Baltimore Ravens signed Des Bryant to their practice squad.
I seen him working out.
This was interesting because a few years ago they had offered him a contract, like a 3-year contract, and he declined it. And now he's back, so...
Maybe he just needed time for his body to heal because he wasn't looking right.
Maybe. And the last time he was on a NFL team, he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, he wasn't looking right.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, good luck to Des. Maybe he could get on the active roster at some point this season. Also, the Vikings, they traded away Ngakoue after they traded for him in the offseason, so they traded him to the Ravens, boosting the Ravens' defense, which is already good. They got another all-pro defensive lineman to add to that already stifled defense. So the Ravens right now are just making moves to just that Super Bowl push. They're trying to go all in on the Super Bowl this year.
They ain't win nothing until they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, that too. And they might face them in the championship game. So
you gotta beat the Chiefs, man.
Yeah. Antonio Brown signed to the Bucks, which was surprising after Bruce Arians talked about he's not gonna sign him. Brady had that conversation with him.
Hit him with the people's eyebrow.
Right, and they changed their mind. Now they have a riches.
Man, I already told you, man. Everybody was in cahoots a year ago. Yeah. Brady knew he was leaving to go to Florida. Gronk knew he was coming back to play wherever Brady was going. And AB was just trying to be a sane citizen for like 5 months.
Brady was trying to get AB back on the team last season, even after they had released him, because that first game they played, I think he had like 2 touchdowns and big yard. Because he knew the receivers they had, they just.
And understand too, AB wasn't talking about Brady at all. He's talking about everybody else. So Brady, okay, he ain't talking about me. But bring him back. Like, we need to get some W's. Like,
all right.
this is real.
And the Cincinnati Bengals traded former All-Pro defensive lineman Carlos Dunlap to the Seattle Seahawks, who actually need defensive help.
Who traded who?
The Bengals traded Carlos Dunlap to the Seahawks. Yeah.
The Bengals need everybody they can keep for my boy Burrow. Burrow's almost there. He's almost figured it out.
They had a great one this weekend. Him and Justin Herbert.
Yo, I was gonna say I never really watched Justin Herbert. Yo, that boy nice. That boy nasty. I was watching him like half asleep, like, who this dude? Killing it. Who is this dude? That's Herbert. All right.
He looks good, and he got the weapons too, and he's throwing that ball down the field. So hey, there's some good young quarterbacks in the league coming up,
and some young bad ones.
Woo! We ain't gonna even talk about that. Let's go to the top 10. Let's go to the top 10. Week 7 top 10. We're gonna wrap this up. And we are back. All right, time for the game picks for this weekend. And we're going to start it off Thursday Night Football. So these primetime games, I don't know who in the world scheduled it, but geez Louise. Falcons versus the Panthers. Falcons found another way to lose over the weekend.
I'm never, no, I don't, please, Panthers all the way.
Yeah, I'm going with the Panthers. Patriots versus the Bills.
I'm always going to root for the Pats, man. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I should. Reality would tell me just pick the Bills, morally, but we don't pick against the Pats here. Nope. So, yeah. Titans, Bengals.
Titans.
I'm going to go with the Burrow, man. I think he might sneak one in because Burrow. I'm going to go with Burrow. Raiders, Browns.
Go on my Raiders, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders, too. They look good. They just need to, this is growing pains for them. They're figuring it out.
They just need a full year together, I think.
Yeah, I think by the way they're looking, they're going to finish the season 8-8. Colts, Lions.
Colts.
You know with the Colts? Mm-hmm. I will go with... I'm going to go with the Colts. I'm not picking the Lions. Vikings, Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, Packers under Matt LaFleur are 8-0 in their division. So, yeah. I'm going to go with the Packers.
You're playing the Vikings, bro.
That, too. I don't even know if I should tell you this game. Just how many points are the Jets going to lose by against the Chiefs?
Oh, just 30.
40. Chiefs. Dolphins, Rams. Tua's first game, and he's going up against that beast of a man called Aaron Donald, who terrorized Nick Foles on Monday night. So, Rams.
He did.
Game of the week, Steelers, Ravens.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going with the Ravens. I think they got to knock the Steelers off.
Going with the Ravens?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Pittsburgh for this one. I'm going to go Pittsburgh for the first meeting. This game should be on prime time instead of the primetime game they have Sunday night. It's Cowboys and Eagles. Isn't it?
Is it like an equal opportunity year? They just letting everybody just get like 2 primetime games a year?
I guess.
Who was it again?
The Cowboys Eagles prime time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's like Russian roulette right now.
I was going to say it's like dirt and mud. Only difference is the water. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. 49ers, Seahawks. 49ers. No. Yeah, 49ers. Saints, Bears.
The Bears.
Saints. Chargers, Broncos.
Chargers.
Likewise, Chargers. And then Monday night, Bucks versus the Giants.
Man. Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks, man. What kind of matchup is that?
This is ridiculous.
Come on, man. All right. Hey, we up out of here. Any shout outs, birthday shout outs, anything?
Not that I could think of, just stay dry, man. It's getting rainy out here. Stay warm. It's getting cold out here.
Definitely. Turn your clocks back this weekend. Make sure to turn your clocks back this weekend. And also, disclaimer, next week there may or may not be a show depending on the results of the election on Tuesday. So, depending on the election results, I may be up to do a show or I may not be up to do a show. Just depending on the election. I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that political, but he ain't want to do the show. You won't see me next week.
I ain't that political either, but...
You won't see me next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, make sure you go out to vote. Go out to vote. City Hall, they got open. Early voting ends this Friday at City Hall, so if you want to do your early voting and you want to avoid all that day of voting, make sure to go to City Hall and vote.
If you're going to trick or treat, be COVID wise, be COVID aware,
Forget that. Don't trick or treat, man. Stay your behinds home.
Well, I know some people that are trick or treating.
Yeah, they need to stay home.
They're putting like candy in bags and leaving them out. It's weird, but you got to just tell everybody. If you are, be aware, be careful.
Everybody stay home. I'm trying to get this pandemic out the way. I'm trying to get back to my normal life. Trying to go search for some things.
I'm not taking my dog trick or treating. I'm just buying a bunch of candy.
Yeah. Have a great day. Oh, yeah. Mr. Burton, 23, Mukala K, LCTV After the Whistle. We out of here. Have a great day.